They don't want what we know out there. You'll never get this on CNBC, but our school system will never tell us this. Fake money, fake teachers, fake athletes. I know the game of the rich.
Let me ask you something. How is it that a billionaire can buy a private jet, write it off on their taxes, and still end up paying less than a school teacher or a plumber in taxes? I'm serious. I'm not talking about tax fraud. I'm talking about using completely legal tools that most of us have never even heard of. And if we have, we don't think we're rich enough to use them.
Warren Buffett still pays a lower tax rate than his secretary.
She pays at twice the rate I pay. I think that's outrageous.
But here's the thing. This system was built to reward certain behaviors: investing, borrowing, building businesses. And if you understand it, you don't have to be Elon Musk in order to benefit. So today, we're diving into how the wealthy legally avoid taxes and what that means for regular Canadians and Americans trying to get ahead. If you're into financial stuff with a real-world twist, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. I cover politics and money, anything from how it's made, moved, and manipulated. All right, let's get right into it. The rich don't necessarily cheat the tax code. They understand it better than anyone, or they hire people who do. The tax system in both the US and Canada isn't just about fairness, it's about incentives. Governments want people to invest, hire workers, start businesses, and take financial risks. So the tax code rewards those things. That's why your salary gets taxed at, say, 29 to 33%, but capital gains, that gets a nice little discount. In Canada, only 50% of capital gains are taxable. And in the US, long-term capital gains can be taxed as low as 0 to 20%, depending on your income. So guess what? Rich people don't take income, they take gains.
The wealthy are definitely undertaxed.
The fact is, if you're a billionaire, you don't need any income.
Let's say you own 10 million in Tesla stock. You don't sell it because that would trigger capital gains tax. Instead, you borrow against it. Banks love this. They'll loan you money at low interest rates because your assets back it up. So you get a $2 million loan tax-free. You buy a yacht, pay your living expenses, whatever, and you don't pay a cent in income tax. Meanwhile, the average worker pays 20 to 30% on every dollar that they earn. This strategy is so common, it has a name: buy, borrow, die. Buy the asset, borrow against it, die, and then pass it on to your kids who get a tax-free step-it-up in basis in the US, or a similar advantage through trust in Canada. It's all legal. When you're wealthy, your business and your lifestyle start to merge. You can write off flights to conferences in the Bahamas, meals with clients who might also be friends, cars, phones, software, even your home office.
Buy, borrow, die. And it's one way the richest families avoid paying taxes. It's this system and the fact that most taxable capital gains are going to the top 1% that lawmakers see changing the capital gains tax as an easy way to tax the rich.
Heck, if you're a content creator or run a consulting business, which many wealthy people do, even your laptop and camera can be a write-off. Meanwhile, regular employees, you pay out of pocket for your work clothes, your gas, your lunch, and the CRA or IRS doesn't care. That's the real difference. The wealthy are business owners. Employees pay taxes. Business owners optimize them.
I pay less in taxes than people that work for a living and make as much money as I do.
Corporations are like tax-friendly bunkers. In Canada, small businesses pay around 9% on the first $500,000 in income. In the US, the corporate rate is around 21%, often lower with deductions. But here's the thing, you don't have to take money out. You leave it in the corp, invest it, and grow it tax deferred. That's why so many wealthy Canadians have holding companies. They earn income, park it in the corp, invest in real estate or stocks, and pay minimal personal tax, if any. Even doctors and dentists do this. It's not shady, it's just smart.
Look at my stock portfolio and I can say, oh, I made $1 million this year, but it doesn't mean I have to pay anything in taxes. because our system is based on only paying taxes when you actually sell something.
And if you're wondering, can I do that? The answer might be yes. You don't have to be rich, just strategic. Now let's be real. Offshore trusts, tax havens, the Panama Papers. Some of this stuff does sound a little shady, but the truth is, a lot of it is technically legal. Setting up a trust in Bermuda, it is completely legal. Opening a corporation in Delaware, nothing illegal about that. What matters is how it's used. Some wealthy individuals use offshore accounts to reduce taxes, protect assets, and plan for succession, and of course, others abuse them to hide income. That's obviously illegal. But that gray area is massive. And unless the government closes those loopholes, the ultra wealthy will keep using them. So what do you do with all of this information? Well, you could get really mad, and that would be completely justifiable because the tax burden is shifting more and more to regular people, the wage earners, small business owners, renters. Meanwhile, the richest Canadians and Americans are legally avoiding billions in taxes every year.
System is making the rich get richer and richer and richer, and everyone else just not.
But the alternative to all of that is that you could get informed. Start small. Open a TFSA or Roth IRA. Learn how capital gains work. Incorporate your side hustle. Track expenses and write them off. You may not have $10 million in stock, but understanding the system lets you play the game, even just a little, instead of just funding it.
A lot of things we could do to make the system more fair. We could have taxes on wealth. We could have taxes on gains in the stock market.
All right, folks. That's a quick but instructive breakdown. If you learned something today, hit that like button so more people see it. And if you want to understand more about how politics and money intersect from a Canadian point of view, please subscribe and stick around. Thanks so much for watching.